The Lady Rebels of Ole Miss are headed to go face the Alabama Crimson Tide in a women top 25 women's basketball tournament. Ole Miss is currently 13th in the nation. They're 19-4. Alabama is currently 19-4 themselves. Ole Miss is 6-2 in the SEC, and Alabama is 5-4. Christy Curry and Yolette McPhee-McCuin are both great coaches. Um, I mean, for Pete's sakes, last year McPhee-McCuin took the Lady Rebels to this NCAA Sweet 16. She's had 20 plus win seasons the past 4 seasons. Christy Curry with Alabama. Not as good, but has taken her team to the second round multiple times in the NCAAs, taken them to the quarterfinals in the Women's Basketball Invitational Tournament. He's had multiple 20-win seasons. Both of these, Alabama has lost to South Carolina, has lost to Auburn, and I bet that hurt. Lost to Tennessee. Lady Balls, I bet that hurt. Lost to LSU. Well, in an embarrassing fashion, 40 points. I mean, that's just embarrassing. It's a good team, but they've lost against some stiff competition. Ole Miss, on the other hand, they lost to K-State, Kansas State, in a tournament by 1 point. Michigan State, they lost 66-49. Lost to, at the time, number 2 Texas by 3 points. And lost to Georgia 82-59. That was a little embarrassing. But they beat Vandy, beat Auburn, beat Mizzou, beat Oklahoma, and beat Notre Dame. They've got a pretty good team, and the teams that they've lost to, those are some good teams. And them beating Vandy. Hey, I am pretty certain that Vandy's not happy with that right now. Alabama and Ole Miss are both looking like NCAA teams. They're both looking like they could do some good in the NCAA tournament. They've got Alabama's got a couple of players that they're playing a lot, but they're producing for the team. Ole Miss, a little bit more balanced, but they've still got several that they rely on pretty heavily. This is going to be a really good game. It will be. They're very closely matched. Now, the professionals, I'll tell you after when we get to the outro, and I tell you who I think's going to win. I think that Cody McMahon, Sarah DNU, Christine E. Walla, amazing players for Ole Miss. Alabama's got Jessica Simmons, Carly Weathers, Naomi Jones, Essex Cody. In other words, it's not surprising that they look to be pretty evenly matched in several areas. These are both strong teams that are a worry for anybody that's playing them. They both shoot really well, and that in and of itself, one team's a little bit worse on 3 points. But let's go over this by the numbers. That's how I look at who could win this game. By the numbers. I know some of you folks don't always agree with me, but this is how I do it. You can argue with me, but I'm just looking at it by the numbers. Now, let's do that. Before we get into the crux of this video, hit like, hit subscribe if you like college sports, because I do college sports, primarily college football, college women's gymnastics, do a little basketball and other sports on occasion, but that's what I do, college. Also, hey, General Robert Nealon, former University of Tennessee head football coach for decades, had 7 maxims to win any game, but they can also help you if you apply them correctly to your life. The second one is play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That is a maxim that can be also applied to your life. Look for those breaks and take it. Ole Miss is the visiting team. 78.2 points on average every game. A little bit better than Alabama. 56.9 is what's scored against them on average. A little bit better than Bama. 45% field goal percentage. That's about the same. 41 rebounds a game. A little bit better. 14.7 assists, just a hair better. 5 blocks, a little bit worse. And 9 steals. They're doing about the same as a lot of teams in blocks. Not so much in steals, but Ole Miss, Cody McMahon leads in points and assists. She's a forward. Why is your forward leading in assists? Oh well, 19.7 points a game on. She's in the game 29 and a half minutes. 19.7 points, 5.9 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1.2 steals, 0.6 blocks, 2.7 turnovers, high, 48.7 field goal percentage, really good, 68.2 free throw percentage. She's a forward, so her 3-point percentage is at 26.9. That is what it is. Christine Iwuala, who leads in rebounds, 27.6 minutes a game, 13.9 points a game, 8.6 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.2 steals, 0.7 blocks, 2.2 turnovers, a little high, nothing major, 60.1 field goal percentage. Amazing. But she can't hit a 3-pointer. 68.8 free throw percentage. Letitia Lattimore, who leads in blocks, is a forward as well, 25.7 minutes, 10 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, 1 assist, 0.5 steals, 2 blocks, 2.1 turnovers, 50.3% field goal percent shooting, but 24% 3-point percent shooting, 68.1 free throw percentage. And Sarah Dianu, who leads in steals, guard, 28.6 minutes a game, 9.3 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 1.7 steals, 0.4 blocks, 1.3 turnover, which is good, 37.5 field goal percentage, that's not that good, 29.3 3-point percentage, not that good, with 81% free throw percentage. Now, this team's got a 45.1 field goal percentage. That's good numbers right there for an average. And then, but 27.9 3-point percentage. They need to work on that a little bit. 72.7 free throw percentage. That's not bad. Several players are a little over 600 minutes in a game, or for the season, not a game, but for the season. Got another one's at 592. They're pretty balanced in being able to get their players off the court. Uh, yeah, they're heavily relying on Cody McMahon, Christine Iwala, Sarah Dianu, Debrisha Powell is up there a lot. So is Latasha Lattimore. These are some good players, but they're getting some rest. You can tell that they're getting some rest. And they're scoring at a good clip. Now, mind you, only 3 of them scoring in double digits, but Sarah Dianu's getting close. She just needs to work on her shooting. Tiana Thompson, though, is, even though she's only got 5 points, got a pretty good percentage on her shooting. I think, they're working decently as a team. They could be better on assists, but everybody's tossing it out to everybody. And blocks are a little weak. You've got 3 players over 2 turnovers a game, with Cody McMahon at 2.7. But they're being productive in so many other ways. Leaning heavily on their forwards. Hey, that work or that can work. It's proven it can work. So, they're scoring at a high degree. They're doing what they're needing to do. They were able to beat Vandy, who is a good, really good team. So they've not got anything to be embarrassed about. Got a few weaknesses here, but it is what it is. That's always the case. Now with Bama, they're averaging 71.8 points a game, 57.3 points against them. You know, aren't scoring as much, haven't got as strong of a defense. Not far off though, in either one. 45% field goal percentage, which is good. 38.6 rebounding. Not bad, but could be better. 14.4 assists. They're working as a team. 5.3 blocks. 8.1 steals. They're really close to Ole Miss in a lot of ways. Now, Jessica Timmons is in the game 31.3 minutes a game. 16 points. She leads in points only, but 4.3 rebounds. She's a guard. 2.7 assists. zero point 0.7 steals. No blocks. 2 turnovers. 45.1 field goal percentage, which is good. 86% free throw percentage, 39.8 3-point percentage. Essence Cody is forward, second leading scorer, 22.9 minutes a game, 13 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, zero point 0.6 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.4 blocks. Hey, she's doing what she needs to do. 1.5 turnovers, which is good. 59.7 field goal percentage, which is really good, and 40.9 3-point percentage, 72.6 from the free throw line. Carly Weathers, who leads in rebounds, assists, and steals, third leading scorer in their 33 minutes a game, 10.1 points a game, 6.3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.9 steals, zero point 0.4 blocks, 1.4 turnover, 44.9 field goal percentage, 68% from free throw line, 39.7 3-point percentage. Diana Collins, 29.9 minutes a game, 9.1 points, 3.1 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1 steal, zero point 0.3 blocks, 2 turnovers, 45.5 field goal percentage, 73.7 free throw percentage, and 42.7 3-point percentage. It's not bad. 44.7 field goal percentage with 36.9 3-point percentage and 72.8 from the free throw line. Now, Jessica Simmons and Carly Weathers are heavily relied on. Jessica Timmons is at 719 minutes for the season, 758 for Carly Weathers. Diana Collins is at 688. You got most everybody else at 400 and under. Actually, that is the case, except for Tamia Scott, who's at 558. This is a team that's way heavily relying on certain players. And if those players are getting shut out, that hurts them. They've also only got 3 players over or in the double digits when it comes to scoring. Everybody's rebounding though. That's a good look. They're working to get those rebounds. Assist could be a lot better. Steals, it is what it is. But blocks, they're hurting on. They're doing as good as most women's basketball teams. Let's first go there. Turnovers, they've only got 2 players at 2 turnovers a game. Not over it, but at 2 turnovers a game. Field goal percentage, not bad, and their 3-point percentage isn't bad. Problem is that players can get worn down, or if you get some of these players getting shut out by defenders, you get rid of their abilities and you've not got anybody that can really come in to back them up. Bama's a good team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Bama isn't a good team, but if you go at this from a defensive standpoint, you shut out Timmons, Cody, and Weathers, all of a sudden you haven't got anybody to really replace them that could give a different look. That's a problem. From any standpoint, that's a problem. But they are shooting decently. But so, it is what it is. They're winning and they're winning. That's the end of the story. They're winning. So, yeah, Don't fix a broken system, but you have to look out for that possibility. According to ESPN, Ole Miss should win this game by 51.7%. They've got 51.7% for Ole Miss, 48.3% for Bama. You know what? Hotty toddy. I think that Ole Miss will win this one. Um, Mostly because they're a little bit better balanced in their teamwork. You're seeing that they've got the people to switch out, and they're you know you'll let McPhee-McCuin trust her team to be able to switch them out. Christy Curry's not trusting her team as much as she needs to. She's been around this team or been around this league for a while. That right there is what I'm seeing, that she's not trusting the rest of her bench. She's got a deep bench, so why aren't you trusting it? That would be my first thing to ask in this. Uh the Rebels don't have as deep of a bench, but they're winning. They're both at 19 and yeah, they're both at 19-4. But it really does look like Yolette McPhee-McCuin is trusting her team far better. Now, Christy Curry, having that deep of a bench, she can wear down the other team just from that alone, but she's not really doing it. She's wearing down her team. That's why I tend to say this late in the season, this should be Ole Miss's game. Now, I like Cody McMahon. I like Christine Iwala, Letitia Lattimore, Sarah Theanu. They've got a really good team at Ole Miss. Alabama, Jessica Timmons, Carly Weathers, Cody, Diana Collins. They've got a really good team. I just look at who the coach is playing the most, how they're balancing out what's going on. Alabama did just come off an embarrassing loss. That's going to mess with your head. But they did have a good win against Georgia. Auburn is on a 3-game winning streak. They did lose to Georgia, but they've since come back and beat Vandy, which is a very good team. Beat Auburn, who Alabama lost to. Did good things against Mizzou. I'm really looking at this, and I'm going to have to agree with ESPN. I don't always agree with ESPN, but you know, at the end of the day, you've got two amazing teams. You do, and you've got to decide: can Alabama win this game? Yes. I am not saying that Alabama can't win this game. I'm just saying that I think it's going to be hot at all day long in Tuscaloosa for this game. And I could be massively mistaken. That's one of the thrills of being me. I could be massively mistaken. I am horrible at many things in my life. But I'm seriously do think that Ole Miss can wear down Alabama in the right ways. And if Christy Curry ain't trusting her bench as much, that weighs a lot in on my decision. But you tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm, needing to be smacked around or not. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Hey, that's my video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And comment. Don't forget that either. Hey, this has been Paul with
Artlist.io.
Redneck Thinker Media. I do sports, I do politics. Hit like, subscribe, and y'all, this has been Paul. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.